Teacher Katie. This is a preschool project. So I've been asked before, like, what does my kiddo need to know before they go into kindergarten? So we're in preschool, right? And we're getting towards the end. Exciting, yay! And they're just like, you know, what does my kiddo need to know before they go into kindergarten? Okay, first of all, it definitely depends on where they're going to school. There are some schools that will be like, hey, you need to know way more than other schools. And some that'll be like, oh yeah, you know how to, you know, count and write your name. That's great, that's great. So it totally depends on your school. So it's good to check in. Just be like, hey, you know, like what is my kid kind of expected to know? But there's some just some general things that's good to know before you go into kindergarten. So if your kiddo is able to say their name and their first name and their last name, if they're able to say their middle name, that's great. Able to write their first name, if you can get them where they're writing their last name too, that is a bonus, yay. But at least their first name, and as long as they know, like, I have a first name and I have a last name, and then working on how to spell and write their first name is really good. If they are able to identify all their letters and, you know, just show them and they're like, oh, that's an S, or oh, that's a T, or oh, that's a W. You want to try to get it where they can say it out of order. So it's like you hold up an A, and then you hold up a T, and then you hold up a Q. So it's not like A, B, C, D, you know, just like that. So you want to work on that. Also, capitals and lower cases. Getting them used to seeing the capital and lowercase. Sometimes they have cards that have the capital and lowercase, which is fabulous because then they can see it all the time. They're just like, oh, there's the capital A and the lowercase a. And so then they're getting used to seeing it all the time as a flashcard. Also, working on the sound. So we know our letter and working on the sound. Like A. A says A and A says A. It's a very special letter. So getting them to know, like, oh, vowels. Vowels have two sounds. But you know what? If they don't quite get it, just know it's a very special letter. It has two sounds. That's fine. And it'll be great. So basically, if they know their name, how to write it, if they are able to identify their letters, know their sounds, those are all good things. Then also, if they're able to count 1 to 20, at least, would be great. If you can get 1 to 30, that's amazing. But 1 to 20 is a fabulous goal. So getting them where they can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up to 20 with no mistakes is fabulous. And then working on identifying, so using flashcards so they start seeing what those numbers look like. Also counting objects, always counting objects. You know, like maybe they're playing My Little Ponies, so like picking them up and saying, how many is this? Like, how many ponies do we have? So you're playing with them, but you're also incorporating math so that they are working on like, oh, well, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You know, 6 little ponies. Great job. You counted to 6. Things like that. Or it's like, oh, how many candles does that person have on the cake? How many pens do I have in the cup by the phone? How many pencils does sister have in her backpack? You know, things like that. Just little things. So they're just practicing on their counting all the time, which is great. So if they can count to 20, if they can count objects up to 20, if they can identify the numbers, those are all fabulous skills. As far as social skills, just working on sharing with others, trading with others, talking a lot about being a good friend. What does that look like? And I found like working with stuffed animals or like a puppet really helps, because then it's not like you're telling them, oh, this is what you're doing wrong or whatever. It's just bringing up a situation, and it's just like, oh, hey, look who came to visit. It's Moose. Hello, Moose. And Moose says, hello. Oh, guess what? And they're like, what? Moose has a problem. Do you want to hear what Moose's problem is? And the kids are like, oh yeah, I want to hear what Moose's problem is. Oh, Moose really wants that red ball. But Bobby has it, and Moose really wants it. What should Moose do? And so then the kids like thinking about like, oh, what should Moose do? So just working on those social skills. well, Moose is thinking he should take it. Should he take that ball? And they're like, oh, no, what do you think Moose should do? So just going through. So if you have a little puppet or a character the kiddo would be used to seeing all the time, then that really helps, because then when they're in those situations, they already know what to do. They're at preschool or at kindergarten, and they see a ball and they really want it. Instead of running up to little Bobby and snatching the ball, they know they can go over and say, hey, Bobby, can I have a turn? And then maybe Bobby's like, no, I don't want to share, or something like that. And then they can, say, hey, can I have it in 2 minutes? And then if Bobby's still having trouble with it, they can say, oh, okay, I'll go check in with the teacher and see if they have an idea. And the teacher might be like, oh, hey, we could play it together. Or maybe they're like, oh, in 2 minutes, let me get the little timer. So then they know the skills. They have the skill set, which is great. So those are some really basic little things to know before you get into kindergarten. There's other things too, but there's a little starter list. Hopefully that's helpful, and I'll see you again next time. All right, bye everybody.